And we're back to another episode
Hello.
of Fake Problems Podcast. And we have a friend.
Surprise. Hi.
Long-time friend of the pod, first-time appearance, just showing up to class.
I would say it's probably affirmative action is the reason why I'm here.
Yeah, that's right. We had a lack
I
of
know you
diversity.
guys don't video yet, but
Our ratings
they're
were
white.
terrible.
They
Yes.
are white. They look white.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
we
here to
do
bring
video,
some color.
but the logo's purple, so it's not a realistic diversity.
Purple logo?
Yeah, the logo's purple for our podcast.
Oh, it just sits with the logo.
Yes, so we have had other colors than white in the
That's
video.
messed up.
Actually, only non-white colors.
We only have colors here.
Yeah, so actually it's the most diverse podcast, or some would argue the non-diverse but more minority supportive.
That's solid.
Yeah, dude. I
happy
mean,
to
I
be
just
here.
I just bring the truth.
As the people,
Yeah.
as a representative of my people, I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and we're just gonna get right into it. First topic is petting a random dude's dog gay. Now I got to give context to this because it happened to me in the wild, and I think I already told you about this
Oh, yeah.
a while ago when it happened. But I was out on a walk. You know, everyone you see people out walking their dogs, and many times there's been a woman or something walking her dog, and I'll pet her dog, like, hey, how's it going? And it always feels a little courty. We're like, it's almost in the realm of like, can I get your number kind of stuff. And when I'm
What
walking,
do I got to do to pet your dog?
yeah, and it so there was a guy walking around, and some people just have their dogs off leash. Dog comes up to me, I'm petting the dog. I'm like, it's a nice dog. Just kind of petting it and being like, yep. I didn't know what to do, and it feels like a non-platonic thing to do sometimes.
It's pretty intimate to pet someone's dog.
It is.
Is it, though?
I don't know. It feels when I'm alone and the guy's dog comes to me and pet his dog and I'm like, oh, who's a good? It's like almost like I'm petting him through the dog, kind of.
Yeah, it's touching another living thing.
Yeah, that's like owned.
It's an extension of him.
Exactly. It's a weird. I know it sounds crazy.
I can speak to touching other people's property as
Yeah.
a black man. Back in the day,
Jesus Christ.
back in the day, you could touch them all you want. Dogs are probably the same thing. It's property.
Oh, if they're the same thing, then we're good.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All right, next
I'm
topic.
glad you cleared the air on that. To give some
Wait,
context.
so you're saying dogs are property?
Yeah. I mean, legally, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. So we enslave
Well,
dogs.
yeah, actually, if we want to go, like, deeper, like, for sure they're property, because if your dog bites someone, you're, like, responsible.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So our
I
kids'
mean,
property?
but a
What if your
chi-
kid
hold on.
bites someone?
Yeah, I was gonna say
You gotta put 'em down.
Oh, fuck.
But a child's not property, and that follows the same logic, right? Like if my kid bites someone, I'm responsible for the child,
Right.
but they're not my property.
I don't know if it I guess maybe it doesn't extend to human beings. Or
I
don't
mean,
know.
you,
I don't
well,
know
you
what
have
the line is.
custody over your kids, so you kind of own them.
Yeah, you're their guardian, though. You're not like
Hmm.
you couldn't make them do something. You couldn't like, I guess you couldn't rape your dog either and be okay.
Where is this headed?
No, I'm just thinking like I'm thinking like extremes
Ah,
of
jeez, dude.
Oh,
I'm thinking
okay.
extremes of
You had
things
to
you could
take it
do to
there?
it.
More?
Like if it was actually property, you could fuck your dog and everyone would be like, it's your property. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
But if you fuck your kid, that's illegal. So there's got to be.
Yeah, I
there's
feel
a
like
difference.
you have custody over your dog. I feel like it's the same thing. And when your dog turns 18, it can do what it wants.
It can fuck
Yeah.
whoever it wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. But wasn't this about, like, was it weird or not to pet a dude's
Yes,
dog?
yeah. I mean, we've gone off the rails here.
I love
but-
that.
Yeah,
But-
it is good to go off the rails. But back on the rails for a second. You're petting this. The conversations, the part that probably got me the most is like I didn't know. I'm like, oh, it feels feminine, and this is so.
You're gay, dude.
You're so gay.
It feels
It's a
like
homosexual act.
well,
It is.
fuck.
Explains
When
a
I'm
lot.
doing it with a girl's dog, it feels like I can be like cutesy.
Oh, you can touch a girl's dog and it's fine? You have-
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean, I think that's exposing his, like, softer nature. Like, he's
Yes.
just like, hey, I'm not a threat to you, and your dog is cute, and she's going to be like, oh, wow.
What if she doesn't want her
He's
dog?
open to being open to another living
But
thing.
here's the thing. I'm realizing what it is now.
But a dude is
when
like,
when
oh,
I'm
yeah.
doing this to a dude's dog, I feel like the dude's like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah,
When
it's-
I'm like, oh, who's a good boy? And then the guy's just standing there watching me do it, as opposed to a woman's like, oh, he's just being cute with my dog.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
strange. This is an extremely homophobic, weird take, I feel like.
And I feel like that's just Like
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
act different around just guys. And if there's a girl there, it changes the whole dynamic. I feel like it's
For sure.
like an extension of that.
Yeah. I have never hit the situation until now where I'm like, I'm now
And you
petting
just
the guys.
stroked
I-
another dude's dog.
And I've only ever done it to women's dogs. I'm like working with the women social cue. So,
I mean, I guess I don't feel like
what
it's
kind of
that
dog
weird.
was it?
like a white golden retriever, you know, like that kind of look.
Yeah, you gotta pet that.
I mean, you got to. They're
Yeah.
so
Also,
cute.
where was it? What was the situation?
Riverwalk. We were passing each other, so like the dog.
Did you
came up
break
to
into
me.
this guy's house and pet his dog?
Yes. No,
That's
I was actually I raped the guy first, and then I pet his dog, and I was like, "Is this gay?"
Straight.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
super straight.
Could
No,
you
you asserted
assert
dominance.
dominance?
Yeah, you got to assert dominance, and then you petted his dog.
That's true.
fine.
Okay, as long as that's settled.
Yeah. Didn't need me here for
You're
this.
deep in thought on this one, huh?
Yeah. Nah, I think it's gay. I still think it's gay.
I just keep circling back and
It's just so gay.
I'm just trying to think of a straight way to do it, and I can't.
It's like, yeah, nice dog, bro. It's just there's no because you want to be cute with the animal. Like it's cute.
Yeah.
It's evoking a cute.
Don't want to be
response.
cute with
Yeah.
the dude.
You don't
though.
want to be cute with the dude. So it's
Right.
like I'm like code switching between dog and dude.
Just be yourself, man.
What am I? I don't know.
how would you act around the dog the way you want to act around the dog? Just
Oh,
do it to
always,
the dude.
always cutesy. I mean, I'm never.
Do it to the dude.
But also, it's like with the if it's a stranger, it's so much. If I'm with anyone I know and they have a dog, I'm like, oh, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
To him, not the dog. But
Yeah.
He's done that to me.
the he won't stop.
Doesn't even have a dog.
Okay, exposing me online.
Yeah,
Ah,
what the
fuck,
fuck?
you're right.
You just
Now we exposed
you
you
just
already.
fucking doxed him. They're coming to his place.
His name's
Here
He's
comes
here.
the cancel culture. Oh, you don't even have a dog. This guy's pretending to have
He's not even purple.
But he's
All
not
right.
even colored.
All right, so verdict is it's gay.
Yeah,
All right,
that's the verdict.
we'll move. I'm so sorry. All right, we'll move past it.
I'm so sorry.
We talked about this one. We won't talk about that.
Okay.
New fear of people leaving their stove on an apartment complex. Oh, I never. So leaving your stove on is a common fear. Like you leave you leave your home. You're like, oh, I hope I didn't leave the stove
Yeah.
on. It's a common thing. I never thought of when you live in an apartment complex. The potential is times how many people live there.
Yeah.
You have that many because I've had many situations. Actually, weirdly enough, one of them when fire alarm went off here, and I saw you outside that one time a long time ago. I was out walking.
Oh, that's what started this podcast. That moment.
I think so
Yeah.
because he was just walking by the crib, and there was like 100 people outside because of a fire alarm. But I'm pretty sure someone just left their stove on, something burned.
Oh.
But like from that day on, I was like, so there's so many people here, and there's a lot of old people here. It's a new fear, new anxiety.
That someone else is going to
Someone else could just leave it on. No matter how much I control my environment, someone could burn this fucking building down and me along with it.
Yeah.
I feel like since you're here, that's not a major concern. Like if you were away from the building, then all your stuff is gone. Like if someone else
Oh.
left a thing on, but you
Yeah,
being
you
here,
got
if
a lot of
If
time.
you fell victim to a fire, I would be very disappointed.
That'd be
in you.
crazy. Yeah, that would be.
I'd be very
pretty
disappointed.
nuts. I'd
The
have to be
alarm's
like,
going off, and you're like, I gotta finish this quick.
dude. I'm
sitting in
It's
flames.
crazy though. The time you saw me out, that's the only time I've left during one. Every time after that, whenever it goes off, I go, nah. I just sit. I literally just.
That's
sit
exactly
Here.
why you shouldn't be scared. You have so much time to react. If the alarm goes off, it's probably somewhere else in the building.
Sure.
And the gas
But, like,
or
what if-
fire
But what if
is-
the fuck?
could be right next to you.
Sure, but I'm saying, what if I do the thing of I go, it's whatever, and I wait too long, and I come outside, and there's
Wall
a
of
wall of fire. I'm like,
You got an
I
exit
know,
over on the
man.
left.
I'm
You're good.
honestly in the best situation where, unless both sides were covered.
Then someone's targeting you.
Yeah, right. It's like, someone burned down it's a lot of collateral damage for just me. They're burning down the entire building.
You're a VIP, very important target out here. We got to get rid of him.
It's funny that you said VIP and then said very important
Yeah,
target.
Vit.
You're a goddamn vit. Okay, I guess that you guys have never had that fear. I guess you live in a building, and you live in a building.
Yeah.
I've never had the.
Have you
the fear
ever
of burning.
accidentally left your stove on?
I don't think so.
I've left the oven on multiple times.
Oven, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, not stove.
On spring break, we rented an Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
and the last night we were there, we were cooking something, and someone didn't turn the gas off all the way. But
Oh,
the
fuck.
flame went out, and we all went to sleep.
That's how. Oh, damn, dude.
That one is crazy.
So-
like gas stoves are bad. Like that
Yeah,
gas
yeah.
stove, the
Yeah, that
electric
is
stoves and all that.
electric,
If you leave
you're
it on,
Yeah, the electric
at,
is fine.
At worst, it's going to be a really, really hot
Yeah,
surface.
you could either
Maybe
die
less.
from literally CO. What is it? It's CO2, right?
Oh,
Carbon monoxide, not CO2.
No,
Carbon
so
monoxide.
apparently, if you just leave a gas stove on, it's not carbon monoxide coming out.
Oh,
It's
okay.
natural gas, whatever that is. But it can asphyxiate you, so it like
Gotcha.
displaces the air. So I was the person who woke up and realized it. I thought I was just super hungover. I felt like shit, and I was like, I cannot get a breath right
Breathing
now.
like 2%
And
oxygen.
I walked over to the stove, just hear like the yeah.
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 Turned it off, opened everyone's room. I was like, everyone wake up. I was
Yeah,
just
dude.
filled with gas.
Yeah.
And my roommate, I was sleeping. I was closest to it, so
Yeah.
I couldn't even smell it because I was used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then one of the other guys, when I opened his door, he said he just felt the gas like
Oh my
just
god.
hit him in the face when
Dude,
it came in.
I mean, you can asphyxiate yourself, or if anyone lights anything,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
will explode.
Which I didn't even think. They say don't even turn the lights on in case like
Yeah,
a
'cause
short
it'll spark,
happens.
and then it just like, dude, if your entire house is filled with that,
Yeah.
it would level the home.
Yeah.
Or like when you plug things in the outlet and you see that little
Yeah, like a
spark.
little
you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Dude,
And I turned so many lights on before reading about it. I was like, oh shit.
back when I lived in Waukesha, and it was at the same time where I was, I say it, but she used to stay over in that Waukesha apartment all the time, and I was in this. I was a teacher at the time, so I would try to like prep food before I would wake up early and make food, and I hit this streak where I was like trying to wake up early and put beans on the stovetop, which is a flame stovetop. And beans take like an hour and a half to make. So I wake up at 5 and put on beans on the stovetop and go back to sleep.
For breakfast?
No, I don't know why. I would just have like Monday, I'd be like, oh, I got to batch make beans today. I didn't want to do it when I came home. So I'd wake up early,
Dang.
do it. And this one time I did it, and this girl's staying over and put it on the stove. It's maybe 4 in the morning. I go back to sleep. And then I just wake up to her pushing me like, there's smoke everywhere. And like the entire apartment you can't see in front of you. And I like literally shimmy over to my door open. There's just a giant fire. Like the beans have just turned into like
Dang.
a black sludge, and there's a
Yeah.
giant fire. And I just fucking hucked it off my balcony into a parking lot.
Shit.
Nice.
But almost, I mean, that same thing. Like, if she didn't wake up, we probably would have been dead from. You couldn't see in front of you. It was like, oh, I thought I was in a dream at first. I was like, oh no, there's just a fire in my apartment.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, do you wake up if you're just asphyxiating while you're sleeping?
No, you'll just die. That's why people do
Will
the
you just
whole.
die?
Yeah,
Okay.
people do the whole. What? Put your car in the garage and do it.
Oh,
you
yeah,
just,
you
just
just-
pass out, and then you're out. Like you wouldn't wake
Yeah.
up if your body.
So if you fell asleep first and then like someone started
But
the car somehow,
Is that the same thing for a fire though? Because that's like.
I feel like
hot
the smoke. Yeah, the
'Cause that's
smoke
like
would
hot
maybe
smoke.
wake
your
you up.
lungs would probably cough you
I feel
awake
like you would
maybe or
cough
something.
that up.
Because
Could
like all
be.
the other ones is just like the displacement of oxygen. That
Yeah.
one's like actual particles and
That's
burning
true.
beans going into your lungs.
yeah, yeah. Your body might say something before you die,
Yeah.
but I don't know, dude.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it tonight.
Beans.
Beans in the morning.
Cooking some beans, baby.
Oh, okay. Southern people, well spoken. That's all I got.
Sounds racist.
Was it?
Tell me about that one.
Let's go down that one.
Because I mean, there's a stigma, obviously, but I
Sir
feel
and
like,
ma'am.
huh?
They say sir and ma'am a lot.
Sure, but they talk sometimes more proper, I feel like, in terms, I don't know. But the point of this is that I feel like, in general, the South has a lot more lower educated people, not by school means, but just like, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot more
You can say it.
non...
Just because I'm here.
non
You can say it.
There's a lot more purple people down there, but no, I mean, like what was it? The whole, they have like a slow way of talking sometimes, and it's like they talk more proper than people I would consider more intelligent, which is strange to me. Because like you'll have someone who's really intelligent, but not talking like, yes, ma'am. How may I help you? Like I don't, and that's with a southern accent, obviously.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think that's an indicator of intelligence. I know, like,
I know
people think it is,
Well,
but
yeah, it reads that way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I obviously know. Like, if you talk with yes sir, yes ma'am, and you talk with a more proper sentence.
yeah.
But when I hear words like that, I go, oh wow, they're
well
maybe
read.
not intelligent, but it feels like they're put together. When it seems like
Yeah,
they're
it
talking
does.
that way, they're like
Part
I
of
don't
a
know.
polite society kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they went. Isn't there like a training for that? Whatever. Some kind of training to be like
Like
polite.
an etiquette class.
school.
Yeah.
I think I was making a
that kind
joke
of stuff.
when we were at Sarah's bridal shower because you said something about some dining stuff right at the table, and I was like, oh yeah, he takes etiquette courses as a hobby on the side.
Oh yeah.
As a
I
hobby.
don't know-
It was because there was 2 forks to the right of my plate. And
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and they-
fucked up.
Right? That's what I'm saying. And it was just like, yeah, totally.
I'm out on this one.
Totally fucked up. And it was like 2 forks, and I was like, oh, this first fork is for a salad. Where's the salad? They're like, there is no salad. And I was like, then why do you have a salad fork? There's no salad.
Just losing his mind.
And I flipped the table, and I left, and I'm not invited to the wedding. I've been uninvited.
Yeah, ruined that shower.
Damn.
But like that stuff, I think my mom took etiquette class. Like her mom made her take etiquette
My
courses.
parents also took them.
Yeah.
I feel like that just got lost.
Yeah, and like stuff like
Calligraphy
that.
and etiquette.
Yeah.
Was calligraphy just good writing?
Yeah, the loopy handwriting.
It's
You
cursive?
mean cursive?
That's what I was going
Calligraphy's way older. It's like ancient times.
Calligraphy, come on.
Loopy handwriting.
Yeah, cursive calligraphy. I think calligraphy is just
Loopy.
fancy, like very fancy cursive.
Oh, okay. Oh, so there is a difference. I'm the asshole.
No, but calligraphy classes, I was thinking
Calligraphy-
cursive, but I said calligraphy.
Okay.
I was thinking cursive.
Oh, okay. But yeah, when you were saying the fork stuff, in my head I go, oh, my mom knows about that stuff from etiquette courses because I don't know about
Yeah.
that shit at all. I don't know where a fork goes.
Fork on the left, right?
You shut the fuck up right now. You're just saying that to trigger me, aren't you?
That's
No,
how I
actually,
was
I don't know if
raised.
it's on the. I just know the inside fork. I don't know if it's supposed to be on the left or the right. The inside fork is a salad fork because that's like usually your first course.
Oh, see, like that's even farther beyond my
Oh,
knowledge.
okay.
Because I don't know where the fork goes on the side. I don't know what different forks.
My parents told me fork on the left, knife on the right.
Yeah. Which
But
Well, they weren't trained very well. Let me tell you that.
they were not trained.
It's just supposed to be like an efficient thing where it's like, okay, they bring out your first plate, and then you grab to your left and to your right the first items. You eat your dish with that. You put those dishes or those utensils in the dish. They take it away.
Okay, so it's
and
like
then they
left
bring
to
another
right.
dish, and you grab the next ones outside of that.
It's an extremely rich person thing. I would
Yeah.
imagine.
So it's just like you're going to have 3 forks on your right. It's going to be a salad, a first course, and a main course or something like
where the
that.
fuck did you grow up?
Listen,
Beloit, baby.
Beloit, Wisconsin.
The pinnacle of class.
What can I say? What can I say? A lot of people were pregnant at 14 in school. You know, we're just.
God.
Wait, so who taught you all
Etiquette.
this stuff?
I don't even know where I picked it. Random
He's
picked
making it up.
No, I've randomly picked all this stuff up.
Interesting.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no
I ask
clue.
questions.
You're so absorbent.
I ask questions, you know?
He's a sponge.
I have a lot of etiquette dinners.
Yeah, you're going to a lot of 5-course meals.
Yeah. Lots changed since we've stopped.
Where's the
hanging out.
invite, dude?
You just
We-
said you have a
we don't-
fork on the
we-
right and a knife on the left. I am not inviting you to a single etiquette.
Shit.
Get it together. But me and his mom.
Oh,
What the fuck? You said my name and my mom? It's fucked up, dog.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Jesus.
It's fine.
It's all right. Let's see. Crazy virtual signaling about Muslim beating wife and lady would never do that. Oh. There was some Reddit post about a lady. There's an entire Reddit subreddit called It's Just Muslim. And it's like
Yeah.
people sharing their stories. And from there I found like ex-Muslim. And it's like people talking about their crazy
Whoa.
experiences. Mostly women about extremely terrible husbands that would just like beat the living shit out of them. Like it's super, what is it? What's the word? Misogynistic is one, but like it seems like the man dominates in that world for the majority. I'm not speaking for all Muslims, but it seems like there's a lot of situations like that. And woman posted about like a terrible situation of like, I have my kids, I'm trying to get away from this man, but I can't get away. It's very like so many entanglements and stuff like that couldn't let her get away.
Yeah.
And then, this woman's asking what should she do, and like one of the first comments is this woman just virtue signaling and going, "Oh man, that's terrible. But I will never do that to my kids and put them in that situation."
What?
It's like,
What?
but there's people that just post like this casually all the time. Like someone's
So it's like someone's in an abusive relationship, and she's like, "Why would you do that?"
yeah, or saying like, "Oh my God, that's so terrible. I would have never even been in that situation." Like they'll say it in their paragraph of stuff as they're being like, "That's so terrible, oh my god," and then have this little glimmer of
okay, I see.
of like,
It's like, why do you
Wouldn't
need
have
that?
happened to me.
Yeah.
It's so fucking.
It's like,
and-
okay, anonymous stranger. But that, what does that do for you?
But this woman who's like, yeah, no, I think I'm going to lose my life if I don't do something. And this other woman be like, oh, that's so crazy. I would never do that. It's just like, dude, what the fuck?
And everyone responds to her like, good on you.
Like, oh, you're such a good mother. So
To imagine the original post are just like, fuck.
like, what, who the fuck? Dude, people
That's
are...
fucked up. Was there any good advice, though?
I don't remember. I mean, it seemed just like everyone was saying, like, get away from that man.
Yeah.
Do whatever you can to... Because I think a lot of it was like, I have no money as well, because all the man has the money. I've taken on the role of the wife. It's like,
Yeah.
do I bring my kids to a homeless shelter? Like, what do I do with all this? And it was, not great. So, fun stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many fucked up situations on Reddit.
All right, a more fun one.
Oh, God.
Remote Japanese robot cafes for disabled people.
What a
Wanna run that-
poetic
run that-
sentence.
What was that?
That was beautiful.
Remote?
I couldn't have guessed any of the subsequent words.
I'm going to
that
hit you
happened.
with it again. Remote Japanese robot cafes for disabled people. And what this is, if you have not guessed it already, is
I'm still trying to
people
remember.
at disabled people who can't go work as a waiter or waitress
Yeah.
are at home, and the Japanese have created robots that they can remote into the robot and act as a server.
Oh, sick.
So they just have like entire cafes that are run by disabled people remoting into robots and taking people's orders and then grabbing dishes and stuff like that and doing all that
They
shit.
like talk through it, too?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. And to think also that you could have remote jobs like that for people who aren't disabled as well.
Yeah.
Like if there's a
But if
bunch
they're
of
not disabled, what's the excuse? Just go to work in a cafe.
remote work, baby.
I just
You don't got to be in the office, man.
All right.
But I didn't even realize that was a thing that was happening.
I thought the opposite. Well, I don't even know if it's the opposite. Maybe like a dark tangent. I thought you were saying there was a cafe that was full of robots, and because I don't know why the robots had to be there, but they only served disabled people. And
How's that a dark tangent? That's fine
because
too.
in my head I was like, oh, people don't want to work there.
Oh,
and
I
serve
see.
disabled
Like
people.
dehumanizing
Yeah, there was
disabled people.
we
We
can
can't have normals interact
We
with
can't
them.
have normal people serving these guys.
can't
We have
be there in
only
person.
robots.
We can't waste good labor on disabled people.
Oh my
We have
god.
robots.
They're
to do
essentially robots already. They're in wheelchairs.
Oh, that was, you made it worse. You made it way worse.
Yes.
it. Nice.
Yes. Fake problems. Yeah. I mean, we definitely don't have anything like that here. Not even
No.
close.
I don't even know what the only technology I've seen where it's like you can see someone's face and they're there is those things that move around classrooms. Like you ever
Oh,
seen
yeah.
the thing
Oh
where it's
yeah.
just like a
yeah.
tablet?
Like a teacher remoting
Yeah.
in,
yeah,
kind of.
yeah. It's just like a tablet and you can see their face and they're
Yeah.
taking notes, but they're not there.
I have seen robot restaurant technology at this place called Sushi Station back in Illinois, where like they have a robot delivering food to you.
Oh.
So like the waiter will fill up your drinks, but they're not handling any dishes, and this robot just like just like literally goes up and down the aisles and just shows up, and you just grab your plate off the thing. It's pretty nice.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it has a smiley face on it, so it makes it pretty cool.
Yeah, what do the robots look like that they're controlling? Are they just like cars that drive around?
They're like the ones I saw are like kind of maybe like 3-foot white block things that have like a face. I don't know if they had like video of the disabled person. I think they just had like they could talk through it, but
Okay.
it just looks like a little, almost like Big Hero 6, like kind of like
Sure.
white robot-y happy things, you know?
Not black robots.
No, can't do that. They'd be
Don't wanna
shooting each
scare
other.
away the clientele. Can't scare away the clientele. Can't scare away the clientele.
It's a black robot. No. Moving at 2 miles per hour with food.
No. Take my money. And just throws it.
It's just covered in wallets because people are just throwing it on wallets. Oh, God.
It's robbing everyone.
Can't move.
We've made quite a profit today. I don't know what happened.
Everyone's tipping so well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, that was a fun one. All right, someone made the point, and I can't validate it, but I can also not say it's not wrong. Cell phones don't appear to show up in dreams ever.
Whoa.
Like people, it's like part of us almost that they're so close to us and we interact with them so much, but for some psychologist who was talking about dream studies, like, it's so strange that we never have an occurrence. No one will ever say they had a dream where they have a phone or they see a smartphone.
Yeah,
or,
you're never just like scrolling on a phone in
no,
your dream.
never. And
I don't even know what the deeper signal would be for that. Like what the
how is that
underlying-
possible? You would think, you know what? I have a theory. Because I did this when I used to have scary dreams a lot as a kid. For some reason, and this is theory, so,
100% accurate.
it's
Got it.
it's fact. If I thought about something scary right before bed, I wouldn't dream a nightmare. It's almost as if the thoughts when I'm right before I go to bed are in my consciousness and not my subconsciousness, where supposedly dreams are pulled from, and that's where you're dreaming about. So if I didn't want to dream about something, I would just think about it before I went to bed, which can be counterintuitive too, because if it's scary, then I can't go to bed. But relating this to phones, a lot of people are on their phones right before bed, and so it's like that is so present in your consciousness, your conscious mind, that the phone is not in the subconscious. So it's almost like you could never dream about it.
I feel like your phone never really is in your subconscious. Like, do you subconsciously think about your phone in the background? I feel like you think about things
I
that
guess I
stress
think
you
about
out.
the apps, but yeah, I don't think about the phone. Like I think about the whatever, like Reddit, or I'll think about Facebook or something.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't think about.
But there's got to be a thought.
Physical device.
There's got to be a thought somewhere in the back of your head that involves the phone. Not necessarily about the phone, but it's like a human experience that a smartphone was involved in that would be in your subconsciousness.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's,
like even like seeing a person talk on the phone, you think you'd like see that at some point.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting thing too. If you go back in time, before smartphones, are like normal phones in dreams, like a landline.
Do you think computers at all? Because now that I'm thinking about dreams,
I'm trying to run through all my dreams.
I can't even remember dreams, but I don't think I've ever had a computer dream. But who knows? Maybe I have.
And then if say that's the fact, or that's the case too, where we like computers and technology.
I had a dream about writing code the other day.
Okay, so there you go. That's a computer,
Yeah,
but not on a phone.
not in a phone.
But not on a phone.
Not in a phone.
I think it's. I'm gonna die with my theory of I think we're on them so much that it doesn't have a chance to be in the subconscious. It's like you're so involved with it that there's your subconscious filling up with everything else but the
Yeah,
phone.
you think if you were stranded on an island for months, then you'd be like, "Oh, I remember phones," and then
Yeah.
like maybe it would come up.
I think so. Because there's, obviously no one knows anything like true about the subconscious, but we know that it's just like this massive information that you've accrued. Or like you'll have dreams about stuff when you were 2 years old. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's weird that I remembered that. But it's all just in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just weird that we wouldn't see phones.
I wonder if there's anything else now. Like
Stuff
anything
that
doesn't
wouldn't be in your
appear.
dream.
Things we-
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like random things, or if it's different for even every person. Like, do people in like remote jungles
Dream about
like
phones?
they see a cell phone for the first time and they're like, oh, and they like dream about it at night. You know?
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the theory like any random face you see in your dream is a face you've seen in real life?
Yeah, I've heard that. Which I
not
mean,
heard
obviously I can't validate
I
that.
feel like I
don't know.
I feel like that's the most unverifiable thing you could say.
I mean, it would make sense if, like, all dreams are your memories, so they have to be derived from things you've seen.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess.
But the claim is like you can't make up a face in your brain, which I feel like you totally can.
Probably think you can, but it's probably just like
Is
a combination
different?
Like
Let's
just
imagine-
imagine a face you've never seen before.
Oh, you're saying a face you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, I mean, artists do that all the time, don't they?
Yeah, you can draw a face.
Right.
But the thing is that it would be a combination of faces you've seen. It's like you're not.
Oh, even that face would. I mean, yeah, they'd all have
It would
two
be like
eyes.
you're not actually making a new face. It's just like you've seen someone and maybe another person. You've just combined their features into one. Again, you can make the argument.
But then, yeah, like,
you
it's
make
like
it
draw a
as
window.
anything,
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's truly like you can't reimagine a face, I think that's crazy. Like,
yeah, I think
but-
that's a load of crap.
Yeah. Just keep you up
All
at night.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I hate that fucking shit. I make new faces.
I can create whatever face I want.
Who's gonna tell me what face I can make? Goddamn America.
Bunch of nonsense.
That monster from the Goonies, that was a pretty unique face.
That is a very unique
can't-
face.
You can't combine
What was his
faces to
what
make
was his
that.
name? Like Chud?
I don't remember.
Oh man, that's gonna kill me. It's like blood, blood,
Wow.
blood.
Keep
So-
going.
I'll
It's gonna
I have
come.
no idea.
It'll be my subconsciousness.
I'll dream about them.
Exponential growth of technology is going to result in monumental changes every single year in the next 20. I think I've talked about this. Some guy was comparing, like, I feel like I've talked to both of you about this separately, maybe never on the podcast, but
Yeah.
when we went from horse and buggy to car, no one could ever imagine that a car would ever exist. Like, there was no person on the planet that was like, oh, we're gonna have gas powered things to float
You
around.
think I can't imagine a car?
Shut the fuck up.
Not a new car. You can't imagine a new
Imagine
car.
anyone you know you've seen. But the thought is that level of innovation of like going from horse and carriage to car is going to start happening over the next 20 years every year, where we go, oh, we could have never imagined this would be a new innovation because of how fast technology is growing. Which, yeah, I don't know. Like in my mind, I'm like, what could we make that's new
So
that I
wait,
wouldn't?
every
you
how
can't
many?
imagine it.
Every
Yeah.
how many years? Horse and buggy to car?
Oh, that span between the difference?
No, what did the guy say? He said like every 10 years it's going to be like a horse
No,
and
he said
buggy to car.
every year.
Every year?
Yeah, I think it's starting in 2040 or 2030 that every year we will see an innovation of that level.
What is
then
that?
I
What is
don't-
that based on? He just picks
At the
2040.
rate that technology is growing. So like you look at where
But even
the
that
phone
is like
was and then where the phone is now and how fast it's grown relative to other technology that's grown at that pace. We're like, nothing has had that.
But even then, now that I think about it, the impact, the technology might increase or be whatever the horse and buggy leap, but the impact of it, I wonder if he's saying the impact will be the same too. Because most people, this AI technology that's come out,
Yeah.
most people have no idea how any of it works, don't know what a large language model is.
Yeah.
Huge innovations, groundbreaking stuff, almost zero impact on everyday people. Like if they don't use ChatGPT, they
yeah.
like I know people that still don't use ChatGPT. I don't think
Yeah.
it's influenced. Maybe somewhere around them it's influenced.
I was
Them,
gonna say, couldn't you make the argument that the impact is like it is on everyone, but it's not direct. So like, say all of these companies are now using that technology to forward products, and everyone who's buying from these companies is then, I don't know.
it would have to be like when I think of like huge impact, I think of like to the whatever middle class, like everybody's using the thing.
Yeah.
Horse and buggy to car, huge impact. Everybody saw
For
them on
everyone.
the street.
Everyone has a car.
Yeah, now everybody has a car versus like I don't know if everybody's going to understand large language like it's going to be something
I
that's
feel like
in
that
the
would be
background.
like if everyone
I don't know
had
how
Yeah.
it would impact them, I guess. It could impact them to the point where it's like Alexa can do your grocery shopping for you and a robot drops off all your groceries. That could
Yeah.
happen. And they
Yeah.
can like verbalize to this robot like,
Yeah.
oh, you forgot the milk, and it's like doop doop, oh shit, and then it goes back to the store.
Doop doop. Most importantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see if any of these futurist guys are right about any of this bullshit.
I mean,
It'd be crazy.
I feel like that's just a very like thing that sounds cool to say, but like what does that actually mean?
I mean, the only reason that I buy into any of it is because of the example of like an iPhone. Or of like
Right,
where
I mean,
it's like,
I agree.
Technology is going at a rate that, look at all the humanity and history we know of humanity, nothing has ever been this fast. And
Yeah.
it's so fast. in
I
a lot
agree
of
it's
areas.
fast and getting faster, but like to say horse and buggy to car every year, I don't know.
But if it's getting fast at an exponential rate, that is exponentially, that's what he's saying. It's like it'll hit a point where it's moving so fast that the innovation happens that fast, where it
Yeah.
won't take 10 years for an
I guess
iPhone
it's
equivalent.
because the impact isn't like a standard category that's changing. Like horse and buggy to car, transportation's impact. And how do you compare that to like the impact of an iPhone versus a regular cell phone?
I mean, having the internet on your phone is insane.
I know, but that's not like the same. It's not like it's apples to oranges comparison.
Oh, sure, but the level of innovation there of having the access to like this world of information, and I mean, I would argue that those innovations, yes, while different, they both had extremely huge impacts on like the average person.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about the phone thing in your sleep because everyone uses them so much.
Right.
One could argue that more people have smartphones now than they ever did cars, and like when we made the jump from carriage to
there's
to-
people with
True.
smartphones that don't have cars.
yeah, for sure.
Kids have smartphones.
Homeless people have smartphones.
Homeless
Yeah.
people have smartphones. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't want to beat a dead horse with all this, but
Yeah, I mean, I
the only thing that will tell will be time,
right.
and then one of us can either go fuck you, I was right. So
I mean, I'm on board with it. It just feels like a fancy way to be like technology's crazy.
for sure. I mean, there's
I don't totally see like what he's.
there's
trying
definitely
to,
a lot of influencer future
Yeah.
dudes who are just using that as like this vehicle to be like, I know about what's gonna happen.
yeah,
when they
like
truly
to
don't.
pick a date 2040. It's like okay, dude, where's that coming from?
Well, they're doing the math thing of the exponential graph and when it's gonna
what's,
hit.
what's the math though?
What's math?
what is math?
What is
We find out you
keep unfolding. I'm just so stupid.
and you're on the podcast now.
What's no idea.
Usually get smarter when asking questions.
Like, oh my god, it's a fucking
this
idiot.
entire time?
Fuck. Okay. Statute of limitations on crazy crimes.
What time we at?
Wait, do you have actual?
24 minutes.
Do you have actual statutes that you can? list
No,
out?
I think I think one came up where like there's statute of limitations on I think like pedophilia, but not murder. Like there's a lot of weird ones where you would think that certain crimes there's no statute of limitations, but then like
I missed. What was the original point?
that there's statute of limitations for crazy crimes. So like I think some instances of like or like child molestation stuff like that, there's statute of limitations where like after 30 years it's like
You're good.
yeah, which is fucking
Whoa.
insane. Yeah. This is what it was. I think that was the issue, and a state had repealed the statute of limitations because they were saying like after 15 years if you were sexually assaulted, they couldn't do anything.
Dang.
But then they repealed it to be like 30 years or something like that. I say,
So they just increased the years. They didn't just say, yeah, we should probably just like always charge for this.
yeah, no, I think that's only like murder, maybe. I don't know.
Just murder.
I mean, I could be super wrong about that. That's the only one I know of that doesn't have a statute of limitations. If you
Yeah,
killed
because I know
someone,
I've heard like limitations on like other things of like whatever some kid gets a record and like he was violent when he was 16 and then there's like a limitation where it's just like okay you can't say he's violent all the time now because he was a kid after
oh yeah,
That
years or
makes more
something.
sense.
yeah like that one is just like okay there was a kid and now it's a kid's grown up not like they were adult they touched a kid and now 30
Yeah.
years
Kid's
later
grown
they're
up.
changed.
Yeah.
The kid's grown up
He's
now.
legal now.
The kid's legal now so it's fine I don't know
Yeah.
and you would think I would know it. Well, I guess we don't deal with it that much. We're not criminal.
Oh,
Yeah.
why
Oh, you
would you
thought
know?
you was going in a different direction. You thought I was going in a different direction, didn't you?
Yeah, I've actually dealt with that a lot.
Surprise, you're back in the podcast now. I have a criminal record. I'll see you guys later.
Did you do a background check on this guy?
No, dude, I have no idea who he is. just brought this guy on
Guys
here.
doing a
He
podcast.
wouldn't
Yeah.
leave.
Heard you guys doing a podcast.
Said he used to live here or something. Yeah, no. I in my brain, I go if you've committed anything like relatively serious, I thought like you can just get charged with it forever. But apparently, that's just not. There might be some realness to this though, because like, say you were molested when you were 6 years old, and 30 years passed. It's got to be really hard to prove that after 30 years. And it might be seemed as like not to call it a waste of time by the courts, but just like there were so many cases that went nowhere because of the lack of evidence that the state was like, we can't keep spending money on this. Like none of this works out whenever we try these people.
Yeah.
Not to say that's right, but it might be more of, I don't know, the system happened that way because it made more sense to do it that way.
Was this in response to at all with like the like anything to do with?
I think it was like
the
something.
Me Too movement
Yeah, I
or
think it was something
anything
around
like
there where like people, certain people were protected because laws were like, yeah, after 10 years or 15 years, you can't do
Yeah.
shit.
Like he
Dang.
did this when early on in your career, and now
Yeah.
you're 60, and it happened when you were 20 or something like that.
Yeah, which
I can
is,
see that,
and
I
if you
guess.
have money, you could. I mean, you could probably just push it until it gets to the statute of limitations, and then,
Right.
which is nuts. So I see the point of we don't want to incentivize people to like. If you know you can do a crime and get away with it, I mean that's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean that was definitely a lighter one,
Yeah.
right?
Fake props.
Okay. Eat food and get infinitely bigger.
What?
I think the the point of this one was if you like, people can get fatter, but say like you would get, like you're a growing child getting bigger. Like you getting bigger depending on how much you ate.
Is this just
Like
a thought
height
you had?
is
Like,
the-
what if you kept growing?
Yeah.
So like throughout life, you're saying like we didn't hit the whatever it is. You're 18. You're as tall as you're going to be. Kind of growth. You're just saying if you eat forever, you will grow forever.
Yeah, but also it goes the other way. So say you go up here without eating a lot, you shrink. So you could be a giant.
Wild.
You just got to eat a lot of food. And also, hold on, let me add another layer to this. It's not like when you're a giant, eating more is easier. It's like you have,
Your stomach
can't have-
stays the same
Well,
size.
let's say it grows, but like your ability to feel full is still that of an average person. So you could it would be painful to be a giant, but you could do it.
So you're saying like, whatever, we'll say 3,000 calories a day. Like that's when you're like, oh, my stomach hurts.
Yeah.
You do that for a while. You get to be a giant, but then you're still like, I want to get bigger, but 3,000 is still like your stomach limit. For
Yeah, so
the
like you
day
could
or
go to
something.
4,000. It's
You
going to
can't,
hurt.
you can't
It's gonna
grow exponentially. It would just be like a
Yeah,
straight.
like it wouldn't be like I'm a giant now. My normal hunger is 500 pizzas. It would be like no, it's your normal hunger is still 2,000, 3,000 calories.
Yeah.
But to get to more giant, you need to eat 7,000.
So
You just
where-
surpass your limits.
yeah,
But even then, you could say like, even if you like took out that caloric limit or whatever stomach limit, 500 pizzas, people just can't afford it. Like if you become a giant,
Oh yeah.
you can't even afford to.
then you can
grow
make the
anymore.
point that only rich people would be giants.
Oh, God. Bring them down to our level.
And then we're ruled by
Tax their
giants.
food.
Oh,
But then, what would be the advantage of being a giant?
I mean, you kind of rule the
Beat
world.
the shit out of people.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean,
What?
depends. I just want to beat people up.
That's it? That's the only thing that you would want
I
to
mean,
do?
you could essentially rule. I guess we have like
That
technology.
would be a ruling class-ish.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, with like militaries and stuff, would it matter? Like nowadays, if you're
Yeah,
if
we
you
have
were-
drones.
Yeah, if you're 9 feet, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Just take a mini drone, fly it into your ear with like a warhead, just blow
All
you
right,
up
so
from
say you're in the
inside.
situation though. Would you eat to get
Would
bigger?
you choose to grow? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it would be painful. Like what you are now to be bigger would be slightly like You
Like
have-
growing pains when you're a child?
How much?
no.
How
Like
much?
it would feel like you're force feeding yourself.
Yeah,
like to
how-
maintain this,
Oh.
it would feel fine.
When have you felt your fullest? Like, what meal have you ate
Oh,
that you can
God.
remember in recent history where you're just like, I ate way too much?
2016.
Well, it was a year.
Bringing it.
I ate like 3,000 calories in a night drinking.
There you go.
Yeah. Now
And
imagine doing
I told
that.
you about that
Yeah.
the other day.
Imagine doing that not only sober, but also, let's just say, that and a half. So like 4,000 calories. Like that's what he's talking about, where it's just like, it's going to be really painful to grow, but you can get bigger
I would do it to a degree.
Yeah.
to a degree.
You got to be kind of big.
There's probably some ways around it too, where you
Wait,
could like
once you're big, you said you just have to eat normal to maintain that, or do you have to keep
no.
eating?
You
You have to
be-
keep maintaining it.
Yes.
Oh, then fuck that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Like
Yeah.
normal eating keeps us this size, but then there's those guys that are giants. They're just like, I eat in pain.
Yes. exactly.
Yeah, then you would see those people and be like, "What are you doing? Why are you like that?"
You wouldn't be saying, what are you doing? You'd be saying, what are you doing?
That's fair.
You'd be looking up at them.
That's fair.
Up in the sky, and they would be like, that's why I'm doing it.
Yes.
That's
It is a
I'm
clear
bigger.
payoff. I guess it's kind of like working out, like a jacked guy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, oh,
pain.
yeah, there's
That's
gonna be
pain
people
every
that say-
day.
Yeah,
They're
I
going to be
guess-
sacrificing.
And then I'd be like,
to eat that.
"What are you doing? Why
Yeah.
are you that huge?"
But then, yeah, what we got to think of like what jobs they would do. Like they got to be in construction, I guess. Like what are they going to do?
Yeah.
They
I
don't
mean,
have housing.
Oh,
for 'em.
giants.
yeah.
They're homeless. Every single one of them is homeless. There's
'Cause-
no house for them.
We can build houses.
Yeah, but there's no way the homeless the homeless
couldn't.
couldn't afford to get that big. Like your point.
No, I'm saying they are homeless. Like, because where's a giant going to live?
Oh, you're saying like I see. They would just they're
build
rich.
bigger
They would
houses.
just build. They would build their own.
Can you imagine a giant's house?
That'd be so cool.
It would be like a city. It would be a city.
yeah.
That
That'd
would
be
be
nuts.
insane. That would be. They would build a city for themselves.
Yeah.
How big are you
If I'm going big, I'm going big.
Yeah.
picturing? Like
I mean, if I'm
a
already,
massive person.
I am. I'm picturing like building tall.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
That-
if you,
that's aggressive.
there'd probably be some weird work around this world too, where like you could just drink ice cream or something and just get like 10,000 calories.
Oh, you hit your calorie limit that way.
yeah.
Someone would figure
Yes.
it out.
Someone would crack this
Rich.
fake world.
The rich would figure it out for sure.
That's what Mac did on Always Sunny.
Yeah, that's why I thought of it.
Yeah,
He just
that's
drank
how
ice
he got
cream.
huge.
That's so fucked.
Also,
he was
on the
jacked.
financial thing, I have thought: is it an advantage to just be a smaller person because you don't have to eat as much,
It's got to be marginal.
like financially?
It's got to be marginal, I would think. Like, how much more are you eating if you're 6 foot compared to 5 foot? You're between the 2,000.
I feel like a
and
decent
3,000.
amount.
Probably like 1,000 calories, but I mean that. You think about if I eat like
I mean, I look at what I eat, like if I'm out with friends, like what I eat versus like a 5'5" woman.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty huge difference.
Like, I order my meal and I finish it, and they're just like, "Can I get a box, please?"
Yeah,
And, they get a box,
yeah.
then they have
And I'm
their-
like still hungry.
yeah, and I'm just like, it was okay. Yeah.
yeah, I think the cost difference wouldn't be that much though, because we're talking about like probably 1,000 calorie difference. If we're going off like basic daily measurement stuff, say you're
Yeah.
probably eating around 27 to 3,000. 5 foot person's probably around like 17 to 2,100. 1,000 calories can't cost that much. I mean, maybe over a lifetime, it's like tens of thousands, but then just
Yeah.
like
1,000 calories is a solid meal.
yeah. So an extra meal a day.
We're marginalized. That's what I'm trying to say.
The 6 foot people.
I mean, yeah, it's probably not a huge deal.
Yeah.
We'll put it at $8 a day.
That's
That-
not
that would be
nothing.
my
Add up, yeah.
That would be my guess. One meal, like if you
It's a
paid
decent.
for a meal.
I think you're spot on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go $8 a day. Yeah.
All right. That's what we're settling on.
All right.
Everything comes from something. Yeah, I don't want to do that one.
All right.
That was deep, dude.
Yeah. The next one is why are we here? I think I was in a
Dude, you
certain
okay?
mood that day.
You okay?
Just gets so abstract. I like that one. Why are we here?
I mean, we could go on for days about this one. I have no idea.
Why do you think we're here?
So, no, legitimately, I've been listening to what's his
Go.
name, Jordan Peterson, a lot lately.
Oh, Red
So,
Pill.
like, I mean, he's not really that red pill.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not like women suck.
he's got some good stuff.
Yeah, he's not like women suck red pill, but
He's not.
he is very like he like reads the Bible and all that kind of stuff, and it's like he tries to apply meaning in the sense that the Bible gave us meaning or God gives us meaning, and then I also listen to the other side people, which is like life is meaningless, just go on and be happy kind of thing. So like the whole why are we here question is kind of like an individual like what do you want to do question, not so
Yeah.
much of like a planetary thing. Everyone says like, oh, it's because of God, but then if you dig the rabbit hole, it's just like, oh, each person has an individual relationship with God.
Yeah.
So it can't just be like God is here for all of us. God's here for you individually. So the reason why you're here is whatever reason you attribute to life. All right, moving on.
That was
Let's figure that one out.
that was beautiful.
There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Say some dick jokes to just even that out.
Because that was deep. That hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. I could buy more into that than probably most other theories. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like,
Like you assign your own meaning to life.
yeah. And then, like,
And not that meaning is like arbitrary in terms of like it's meaningless or anything like that. At that point, it's like if you believe in God, you believe your meaning in life is to live for Jesus Christ. That's
That's
your
like
individual
what
meaning,
you've
though.
assigned.
Right,
Yeah.
but like that's your individual meaning. It's not like everybody on the planet has to ascribe to some same meaning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like Christians
That. Yeah.
believe it's got to be Jesus Christ, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel like where people get tripped up on that is like by that logic, there's no universal meaning, and that I think that throws some people off. Like they want there to be one that's like true for everyone.
right, which
Yeah.
has
Which
been like
yeah,
disproven.
that's what people argue about.
Yeah, like that's like the God of the black hole thing, where it's just like science keeps proving things that people thought were God and like gave us universal meaning. Like God created the universe. We can never say if it was or wasn't God because we don't know what happened before the Big Bang.
Yeah.
But like it's just like okay, that's where they've like latched onto now. It's just like we don't know what caused the Big Bang. Must be God. God created
And we'll
us,
never
so
know.
therefore-
Right,
You can't
but-
like go back.
I think like a lot when those people talk in those contexts, they always think like when they're talking about God being the creator, they think we're going to find some physical manifestation of like the God.
Right.
And I don't think it's ever going to be that, but it's all we're doing is finding ways to describe the things that are happening around us. Like
Yeah.
something made this. We might get to a point where we
Yeah.
go like, we found this thing that we think is running all this, but like this, even if that thing is running all this, it is just here.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
all just happening.
Right.
So it's like there's the physical sciences, then there's the explanation of the theological perspective. Like, yeah, we can describe all these things, but these things are just here and they are just happening in these ways, in specific manners, and like all we're doing is saying, yeah, they're happening this way. We don't know why any of that's happening.
Yeah.
Right. We're finding the truths of the universe, but the why the truths are
The
truth.
why will never be
Right.
found.
Yeah, I don't think, and you know,
Which that's good. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Because if we knew everything, it would be kind of boring.
we would be God. That's the thing.
Oh,
In all of these, yeah,
We've been
teamed
going
up,
through
yeah.
this together. We've been going,
Yeah, we could be gods.
It's like
just gotta
the,
eat 4,000 calories a day.
then you can be God. You can soar above the other peasants. But that's in all these these famous theologians talking about this stuff. There's always like, we can't ever know that because it is not. We are not gods. God created it. Our brain could never wrap around the understanding of these things that are happening.
Well, that's I always think that's like ultimately what God is. If you like loosen the definition a little bit, just something that's so far beyond
Yeah.
anything we could possibly understand, such as an original
Math.
cause
Yeah.
and math.
That's hard.
So far
Yeah.
beyond.
So far beyond exponentials.
But yeah, yeah. But I agree with the why part. I think it's like whatever means you find in this existence to live your life to like the fullest, not to be cliche, but it's like you just got to live it.
right.
and I don't know.
Whatever
gotta
your
live,
truth
man.
is, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Some
just like-
people seek truth, but
Yeah, just like
it's just
I
a different
know.
way of living, kind of thing.
So I feel like there's an inherent thing when you look at somebody and go, either they are or aren't living life, which I can make the argument I'm currently not. Where I feel like
Wait, what?
You don't think you're living life.
when I mean, day to day, it doesn't feel like I'm living life in terms of like going and being vibrant and experiencing things and doing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm doing that.
By that definition, sure.
Sure, right.
But it's just
like I'm
like-
alive,
Right, you are alive. Right.
and I don't
You're
want
alive,
to
but
die.
you're not
I
living.
feel like I'm. If I continue doing this until I died, I feel like it'd be a very like
mundane kind of.
it would be like not what
You'd
God
be filled
intended
with
for
regret.
this. But then there's the argument of you are just this. You are God's creation. Whatever you do is what God intended.
Right.
That's which that is always the counter to what I'm saying, but it doesn't feel what I'm doing is right.
Right. I mean, not to keep bringing it back to Jordan, but
Yes,
one thing
Michael.
he says
is
that
God.
more resonated with me because he was like, the reason why people play video games is because they are slaying the dragons in the games that they should be slaying in their real life kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I
and I was
feel
just
that.
like, oh. It's just like you're supposed to challenge yourself, basically.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to be fighting the dragon to get the gold in the other side in the cave kind of thing. And
Yeah.
if you're living in a way that is not challenging to you, because some people, their challenge is literally, I need to stop drinking alcohol.
Sure,
Like,
right.
that's a hard-ass thing for them to try to do.
Yeah.
And then, like, for, like, us, it's kind of like, all right, I go to work every day, but I'm not, like, challenging myself anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But
And I go to the gym. Cool. Like,
yeah. But then it's like that makes you question it makes me question stuff more because it's like someone's challenge is overcoming alcoholism, but I have to go beyond not
But
becoming
I
an
have to
alcoholic.
slay a real dragon.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Where it's like, why do I have this burden? Alcohol man doesn't.
Consider yourself one of God's chosen.
You're gonna be a giant, son.
You're going to be a giant, son. We're going to get you a Dodge Ram.
Oh, thank fuck. How else would you carry my giant ass around?
Yeah, that's true. After all those calories, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so many.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, I think we answered it.
yeah, that's good.
So
That's
we're all just wasting away, not living life.
Okay,
That's,
we are ending on a good note.
and then you're just like, and it's a waste. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, you all live this, and then who knows what happens after? That's the bigger question to me. It's like, why is this happening? Sure, but then we die. Was there a point to anything that we did here?
Yeah, those are kind of related. Like, what's
Well, no-
next and why are we here?
Yeah, it is. Well, my question is there a relation? Is there, if I fuck up here, you know,
there's
or
that.
or if I, not even fuck up, I just do something a different way, does it affect the
Right.
outcome of whatever the fuck is after this?
Right, the fact that you don't fully accept Jesus Christ in your life, but you live a really good life and you're nice to people and you
Yeah.
help people,
Yeah.
but you're not going to heaven
Yeah,
because you
sorry.
didn't accept Jesus Christ. Sorry.
You're
Like,
going-
That's a big question where it's just like, I'm a good person, but that's not just good enough. Like,
Right.
that's not good enough to get into heaven kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, what was what was the fucking thing I was talking to you about a bit ago that was considered like the worst sin against God. It had a certain name for it.
Oh.
But the worst sin was literally not letting God into your heart. Like
Yeah.
when you got to, and it was very,
Oh.
to get to that point, it was very like complex, and the verbiage is very strange, but it seemed like the whole meaning was you can only stay in hell and be stuck in this place. I'm saying hell just so we have a physical thing, if you don't accept God.
Purposefully.
Or you think you think you're beyond God's forgiveness. That's what it is. It's like, because he forgives all.
Sure.
You think that you've gotten to a place that you've done so many bad things that you're beyond godly forgiveness. It's like, that is the biggest sin, thinking that you could be so bad.
Oh, they're saying
that
that's a sin.
They're saying that's the worst sin to ever exist.
'Cause, I mean,
It's
at that point,
thinking God can't forgive you for your sins.
Who said that?
That's like, there's a word for it, but it's described in the Bible and all the other texts like the worst sin.
Yeah.
I got to find the word for it because someone said it and I was like,
Yeah, there's like the cardinal sins, and then there's like some other
Yes.
kind of sins. Like there's like the ultimate pinnacle sin is just like basically you're putting humanistic properties onto God, where it's like people sometimes can't forgive other people, but don't say that God can't forgive other people because he's God. God will forgive you no matter what it is. But if you think he can't, that's the sin.
I wish you would.
Interesting.
So it's basically like whenever you put like a human shackle onto God and say like, oh, whatever, he's
Basically,
like a human.
any way you're saying he's not God.
Yeah, any way you're trying to tie God down into like a human form, that's like the ultimate sin.
Interesting.
Forgiveness is. Like
I've
the
not
main
heard
one.
that one.
Fuck, I need to find the name for it, but it was interesting. Anyway,
So let's end on God's.
we got 4 minutes, so we can probably do one more. All right, this is a very non-God thing, more human. Getting pronouns wrong. Ugh. All right, hear me out.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson.
What are you going to try and force me to say?
Getting pronouns wrong is on how much the person looks like their chosen gender. Now, it sounds pretty brutal, but I think if anyone, and I haven't had this happen to me, so it's not like I'm talking from a place where I care that much, but
Okay, they.
shut the fuck up. If someone looks like a male, I'm probably gonna be like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" Like just by nature. And if someone comes at me, I'm a woman, I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
What are you doing?
like now I understand that you want to be referred to as that, but if you look like a man or woman, my brain automatically goes to, I don't know. It just,
As your brain is intended to.
it's just,
Don't doubt your brain.
it's just so.
I feel. Do those people get offended if you get it wrong like one time?
Have you ever ran into any of them?
No.
And I say them because I don't know if they are he or she. Theys.
What do you mean? Right
Like,
into
I've
them?
never had this situation happen. But
No,
it
no.
seems, and this is like maybe it's like the louder, the small portion is super loud about it. But I've never had a situation where it wasn't one completely obvious that I shouldn't just say he. Like if they were wearing a dress and a wig but looked like a guy, I'm like, you probably don't. I assume you don't want to be called he.
Yeah, I've had no real life occurrences with this. I've
Yeah,
only ever
fine.
seen people taking videos of trans people freaking out when they don't. I've seen a couple trans influencers that I'm like, it's almost like they make it a point to shame people for not using their correct pronoun.
Yeah.
It's obviously crazy rage bait shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Which in the end, most people are probably not acting that way. But
Yeah,
it's,
there's normal, whatever, non-sex dysphoria or whatever it's called, people that do that on the internet too, where it's just like, like the people recording in the gym, where it's just like I'm lifting and they'll get a guy in the background looking at their butt. Like, there's people that just do that so that they can call people out.
Yeah, there's this one. Let's call her a woman in particular that goes out to like places. It's almost funny at this point because they come up on comedy podcasts because people are like, this is hilariously insane. Because the person doing it fully buys into what they're doing. Where they go out to a restaurant. It's a man transitioned to a woman who has had no surgeries or anything like that. Just literally has on like a wig and some makeup. And they go, there'll be like a waiter that comes out and like, here's your food. Like, yes, sir. And they'll be like, excuse me? What and it's usually like some like foreign busboy or waiter who is just being polite.
Yeah.
And this person's like, and like they'll be like, it was a knife in my heart when you called me sir. And I'm like, dude, this is so insane.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah, I've
against
seen
my
those.
point. I thought most people most trans people would give you one.
Not
and
this-
they,
no, this
but if you
person-
correct them and you continue to get it wrong, then that would be offensive. And
Sure,
like
for sure.
understandably
Yeah.
so.
But even then, even if you fucked up again, like I know I'm gonna try really hard not to say. I just say man a lot, and sometimes it doesn't.
Oh,
and
sure.
Like,
Well, I say
I'll go
guys
like, hey,
to
how's it
everyone.
going, man? And like, I
Oh,
know
dude,
I'm
no way. Like,
I know I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna fuck up because I've never had the experience of being around someone who looks truly like a man.
Sure, yeah.
And like my brain has such a default to be like, hey, how's it going, man? I'm like,
yeah, weird that your brain knows how to pick out male.
okay,
That's
all right,
so
I think it's a
weird.
good place to stop. We're at an hour exactly. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us, and
All right.
we'll see you next time.
Adios.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.